We are amazing because our passion is limitless and our drive is intense. Therefore, you will not deny our grind. You are now listening to the Faith, Grind, and Inspire podcast.
Welcome back to another great episode of Faith, Grind, and Inspire. I am your host, Gene Alert.
And I am Jeffrey Patrick, the co-host, the host with the most, and the toast. Let's go.
And the toast. Yeah, I love his energy. But we gotta, before we start, this is the first episode this guy is not wearing the flies. He's not the flyest person in the room. Because usually he has the blazer, the bow tie. I'm shocked. Now I got to know how to deal with this, man. You got casual today, bro.
I woke up this morning and I felt like, I felt polo-ish.
I love it, though, man. It's summertime. You know what's so funny? Today I was actually going to wear a Faith, Grind, Inspire t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? Jeff is going to come here, meet my boy Ash, and all of a sudden he's going to have a polo or a three-piece suit on, and I don't want to come in here dressed down because he's going to be like turned up.
I thought I would surprise you. I was going to tell you, but I was like, I'm not going to tell him. I'm just going there and be like, ta-da! And he's like, I knew
summer in New York, man, but it's all good.
I woke up this morning and I felt like... I'm going to talk to Ash today, so let me get to kick back.
That's it, relax. Kick back and relax, right?
Yeah, I'm going to give it.
This is family. This is my brother, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Let's do it.
So today we have a very special guest, friend of the show, family of me, and just period. Yeah. My man, Ash Cash.
I'm in the building, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, man.
Appreciate you.
Ash made the move to Atlanta.
ATL,
yes, man.
Yes.
And there's so much to talk about, bro.
Man,
there's so much going on. So first off, let's just go with that.
Yep.
Why did you move from New York to Atlanta?
Man, so it got to a point. I mean, honestly, faith, right? Mm-hmm. So faith, grind, inspire, but we're going to use that. First, it was just following faith because it wasn't something that was planned. It wasn't something that, we thought about doing. It just wound up happening where a real estate agent was walking by. He had a nice suit on. I thought he was a politician. And so in my neighborhood, we stopped and talked to the politicians. And he was knocking on doors. So when he got to my car, because I was on my way to drop my daughter off, he said, hey, I'm a real estate agent. If I could sell your house for top dollar, would you sell? Like, nah, we don't have, no thoughts about moving. Dropped my daughter off to school, went back home, talked to my wife. And I told her, I said, this guy was trying to, see if he could sell our house. And we had just did a whole bunch of work in the house. And so we put maybe $30,000, $30,000 in the house or whatever the case may be. And so he's like, we would love to see, what people think this house is worth with these new improvements. So we said, come on, let's just put it on the market and see what happens. Put it on the market. Within 6 days, somebody gave us an offer for exactly, and we put the price up. We were like, we just did all this work.
We're going
to inflate it a little bit. 6 days later, somebody gave us exactly what we asked for.
What?
And so now my wife and I are looking at each other like, wait, are we going to make a move or what's going to happen? And so we said, all right,
They called your bluff.
They called our bluff. We said, let's go to Atlanta, right? And so just kind of give you backdrop, my wife and I are both entrepreneurs. So my wife worked from home. She has an HR business. I'm a financial educator. I travel to different colleges and conferences and, sell books and all that stuff. And so my income is not geographically dependent, right? So I don't have to be in New York. And so now we're thinking about it maybe we should make the move. And so we said, let's go to Atlanta. So it was between Charlotte and Atlanta because we knew, it was a black mecca. Things were happening.
Yeah.
We went to Atlanta, spent the week there, and it was like a no-brainer. And we literally sold our home, bought a house in Atlanta, half the price, 3 times the size.
Yeah. What? Yes. That's how Atlanta is, man. I just went down there last week, bro, and it was...
We live like kings and queens out there.
I hear you.
We got I
hear you, man.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah. So so it's been a great transition. But at the end of the day, it doesn't feel like I left, because since moving, down to Atlanta, I've been in, it's only been 6-7 months.
Yeah.
I've been in New York maybe 6-7 times since.
Yes.
I'm here now. I travel a lot.
Travel a lot.
You know, and so it doesn't really feel like I actually left. I'm still able to touch the same people and still connect with folks.
And you're connecting with people on social. You still got the same phone number.
Absolutely, exactly. 646, baby.
Yeah.
We ain't changing that.
We ain't changing that.
Never.
So with you wrote a lot of books.
7 books.
You know,
I got 8 coming.
8 coming.
In August.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that one about?
Yeah.
So it's actually a tribute to Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
And so if
I knew that one was coming.
Yeah. So if anybody follows my work, what I do is I take culturally relevant topics, mix them with finance and entrepreneurship and business. And so my most popular book is The Wake Up Call: Financial Lessons Learned from 444. So when Jay-Z wrote the 444 album, was so inspired by it, I wrote a whole book about it. I also have a book called Making Sense of Kanye, where I listened to what he was saying and thought that Kanye was a good example of mental health and finances. So we talk about that. But this book that's coming in August is actually going to drop as a free ebook too, right?
Oh, cool.
A free ebook on Nipsey Hussle's birthday, which is August 15th, and it's called Hustlenomics. And it's a book that is going to the goal or the aim of the book is to really continue, right? The marathon continues.
The marathon continues.
And he is so important to to our culture, whether you knew about him before or not, I don't care about that. Like people are like, oh, y'all should have known. No, whatever. If you knew about him before, then great. If you just learning about him now, then great. But what this man was teaching was something that could liberate us as a culture more so than anything else. And I feel like his legacy cannot die with him. And so as a financial educator, same way, right? Same way when I listened to Jay-Z's 444 album and I said, yo, I don't want people to miss this, right? When he says, what's better than 1 billionaire too, like, let's not miss that he's talking about cooperative economics, right?
Exactly.
Like what's better, like, so when he says, spending your money in a strip club, you should spend your money, you should focus more on credit than a strip club. Like that's important. When he's talking about, when he says financial freedom is our only hope, like that's real, and I felt the obligation as a financial educator to really kind of push that envelope and kind of give people the how, right? Because Jay-Z was telling us what needs to happen, but how are we going to do it? And I think it's the same with Nipsey Hussle, where he's telling you, about owning his masters, and he's telling you about owning, the ecosystem. Like what is like people don't even understand. Like he's like, yo, I own the whole ecosystem of my music. What does that mean? Yeah. Right? And so I break it down, and I give people the game. So, based on what Nipsey was doing and illustrating, and I think it's an obligation for people to continue the legacy. The book is not for informational purposes only, and that's why it's a free ebook, right? It's not for informational purposes only. It is a call to action. Like if you love what he spoke about, if you enjoy his work, if you're like, yo, this was good, that $1 million life insurance on my flesh, like all that stuff that he was talking about. If you rock with it, like let's not just hashtag the marathon continues. Like let's really implement, call to action.
Exactly.
Let's implement what he's teaching into your life so we could build generational wealth, but then we could also own, because the other thing that people don't even realize is that when you think about, the black and brown community, the largest employer of the black and brown community is the federal government. And so if you don't like who's occupying that office right now, if you don't like that person, then you got to understand that right now, the largest employer of black and brown people is the federal government. The second largest employer of black and brown people, black and brown businesses. Period. Entrepreneurship. And so if we want to take full control over our community, we gotta own. We gotta start businesses. We gotta own our stuff, and we gotta stop giving it away.
Yeah, man, that's no, that's fire.
That's fire.
That is fire. That is definitely something.
I applaud you for doing that, man.
Nah, that's something that we need to be like. I want to say whipped. But you know what I'm saying? We need that to be really put on to us, like, and make sure we understand what it really means to take steps toward. I'm reading this book, Can't Hurt Me. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, by David Goggins. He's a Navy SEAL, right?
I know. I know what you're talking about. Yep. I haven't read the book. Yeah.
he personifies a mission-driven mind.
He's
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's
that
intense.
mindset that you have to get things done. One thing I'm gonna take away from that book that I think that why I'm mentioning it right now is that you must take aim of what you are willing to earn, and don't sway from that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This guy did 4,000 pull-ups.
Yeah. Nah, he's intense. Like, if you follow him on Instagram or if you follow him on social media, he's definitely somebody that pushes you to that next level. And to that point, though, I think that's the part. I mean, that's why I appreciate him. I'm gonna check the book out, but I appreciate him because I feel like social media, and we talk about this all the time. Social media makes the journey sexy. And doesn't really show the ugly parts of the grind. And so we need to understand that there's ugly parts of the grind, right? Like if don't just watch Will Smith's Instagram and see his family on vacation and think that's what it is, right? No, think about the 3 months that he's spending, filming, right? The 3 months that he probably don't see his family as much, right? That he probably doesn't sleep as much. Like think about those times. And so it's important. And so I think what, that the point of making sure that you just go and get it is understanding that once you set the goal, right, there's going to be things that you have to do in order to get to that end result. But be willing to do those things, right? Because, at the other end of those things is this life of bliss, is your goals, is this sense of accomplishment. But you got to understand the grind is not always, sometimes it's sexy though, right? Sometimes the grind is sexy. I don't want to scare anybody away to act as if like there aren't sexy parts of the grind.
You got to let them know though.
Yeah. But there's some ugly parts.
You know what? Being the person that I am, right? I attack people who talk about I'm real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're real.
Yeah.
You real until real come upon you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Then you get tested.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can talk all the smack you want.
Yeah.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
And it's funny because where we from, like, we don't even recognize those who talk because what's understood don't need to be said.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So I can walk in a room and tell who's grinding and who's not, right? Because what's understood don't need to be said. So all you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like when you're busy focusing on the grind and you're busy doing what you need to do, you're like, all right, go ahead, talk all you want. Like, I got kids to feed. I got goals to smash. Not even accomplish. I got goals to smash.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
There is a. Now I can give you a good talk.
For sure.
I can definitely give you that. But I'm gonna tell you something. 90% of what I do is unsaid.
It's true.
10% I might say.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is like the whole process we have to go through of not just yipping and yapping and talking about your real and your this and your that. Because when you get smacked, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You can't say I didn't warn you.
Yes,
You see what
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah, that's why I like David Goggins.
Yeah.
Because one of the things, he's a bad man. You understand?
Yeah.
And he actually lets you see or really consider what you have to really do to get things done.
For sure.
17 hours of pull-ups.
Yeah.
17 hours.
Yeah, that's
17 hours of pull-ups.
But do you understand what type of conditioning that it takes you to even get to that point? Though, right?
When you read this book, you're going to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This guy did what?
Yeah.
He did what? He went through SEALs training, Navy SEALs training with 2 broken shins.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's intense. He's next level discipline.
He's on Instagram.
Yeah, he's on Instagram. Yeah.
I saw
and he's
him.
always like running with the shirt on.
Running with the shirt on.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the one that showed the he had like his toe.
Yeah, that guy. That guy.
Oh yeah, that guy's intense, bro.
Listen to me, man.
That guy's intense.
No, he's next level.
He's next level.
You know, when
he's next level.
When
I was watching this stuff, I was trying to. I was thinking about. I was like, "Yo, is that the guy?"
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember his name. Yes. Yeah, he's intense.
Dude, listen to me. the failure that he comes upon, he uses that as fuel.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The empowerment of failure is what he calls it. That is something that we have to consider as a people.
For sure. But that's the thing. I think for some reason, we have been taught that failure or we've been shamed into thinking that we want to be perfect. We don't want to fail. We don't want to show, imperfections. But at the end of the day, being around enough wealthy people, being around enough people who are about their grind, you'll realize that failure is actually a part of success.
It is a part of it.
Like, it's part of it. Like I can't begin to tell you how many times I failed in order to be where I'm at right now. Like, and I'm talking about, like, I'm not talking about my pretty failure. I'm talking about ugly failure. I'm talking about best-selling book. 10 years ago, I wrote my first book, Mind Right, Money Right, 10 Laws of Financial Freedom. Before social media, book was a bestseller. At the time, there was only 2 finance people out there, Susie Orman, Dave Ramsey, right? Number 3, making 6 figures at the bank, jumped out to be an entrepreneur, didn't realize that I wouldn't make as much money, right? So I have a best-selling book. I'm making money, but I'm not making as much money as I was at the bank. And so now I got to put my house up. My house is almost going to foreclosure, right? My car's almost being repossessed.
Yeah.
Right?
Real.
Yeah. Like real failure. I'm talking about real failure. I'm talking about I'm on TV.
Learning lessons. Yeah,
I'm talking about I'm on TV.
At 10 o'clock.
Right.
And then at 12 o'clock.
And at 12 o'clock, I'm sitting in front of my driveway crying.
Real.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that failure taught me a lesson.
You know what he says?
And that's how I got me
He says, failing does not mean you're a loser.
Yes.
Giving up does.
Giving up does.
Right?
Oh, my God. That word makes me sick.
Yeah.
Sure.
Giving up.
Giving up.
It just makes me like...
I don't even... Doesn't even...
Yeah, failure doesn't... If you haven't failed at anything, that means you didn't try.
Right. You're not trying hard enough.
You didn't try.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's... We've known each other. Matter of fact, he's the reason I started ACA.
Nice.
This guy.
Yep.
Yeah, we'd like to take that.
Yeah, no.
I'm one of those guys.
I would have been a banker.
Right.
He's the one that made me quit my job.
Yeah. For sure.
But the thing about it is it's like I had people tell me, without me, it's not gonna work. Without me, you're gonna fail. I'm like, no. Without me, it's going to fail.
Absolutely.
If I give up, it's going to fail.
Absolutely.
It's the mindset.
Absolutely.
If you give up, that's when things shut down.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So the only person that can really stop you from being great is you. That's it. Period. This guy asked me last week or 2 weeks ago. No, last week when I was in Atlanta. He said, "What was what was your first investment?" What was your first investment?
Yeah.
And I said, it was you? Yeah, it was Stefan.
Yep.
He said, what was your first investment? And I had to think about it. At first, I was going to be like, oh, yeah, my first investment was this, What Family, and,
Yeah.
But then I said, no, my first investment was in me.
Me, absolutely.
My first investment was me.
And
it was me.
The best investment.
And the best investment, man.
Yeah.
That was the best investment, bro.
Yeah.
And so, so tell us, man, like, because... Going into you speak in front of thousands of people, man.
Yeah.
Black Enterprise, you're traveling, you're doing all these workshops and things. What are some of the number one things that you keep, because people are, no matter where you go, people are the same.
Yep.
Right? And what are some of the topics that people are all around the country keep asking you?
Yeah, I think honestly, it's diversification of income.
Okay.
I think that's the number one. I think number one, there are a lot of people out there that are living paycheck to paycheck, and it crosses all income spectrums, right? It crosses to the person who makes $30,000. It crosses to the person making $100,000. I remember I was in DC at this conference, and it was mainly like corporate lawyers and people who were making high six figures.
Yeah.
I was shocked, not really shocked because I've been in the private, wealth management business for a while. And so I know that income doesn't equal wealth. But it was the same. It's, I think people are realizing that, having one source of income is not going to cut it anymore. That, having one source of income, no matter how much that income is bringing you, is economic suicide, right? Because you are not financially free if you're only dependent on that one income. And so, I think the number one thing is just talking to people about why it's important to have multiple streams of income. Even if, I don't care if you've been at your job 30 years, I don't care if you've been at your job for 5 years, I don't care if you're a full-time entrepreneur, you have to have multiple streams of income. You cannot be reliant on one income. And so I would say, that's one of the main things that, that I talk about. But then even, to go back to what you said earlier about you being your number one investment, it's mindset too. I think that's the one thing that is that resonates, and people gravitate to, and that's the question that I get, when we have Q&A, is really about mindset, because there's so much noise, right? There's so much information, there's so much noise in this world. So how do you stay focused? How do you keep that mindset? How do you keep going when you want to give up? And so, between multiple streams of income and mindset are the main two things. And I would just say it's really about that. It starts with that belief system, because anything that you have in your life right now, anything that you're experiencing in your life is because you believe in that.
Facts.
Right? So if you're experiencing lack right now, it's because you believe in lack. You believe in lack, and because you believe in lack, lack is in your life.
I want you to do something for me. I want you to do something. I want you to articulate as best as you can, or better yet, give me a definition of mindset.
So mindset for me is belief system, period. Right? Because if you have a prosperity mindset, that means your belief system believes in prosperity. If you have a lack mindset, that means your belief system believes in lack.
Okay.
Right? And so for me, mindset is belief system.
Faith.
What is your belief system?
How can we change the mindset?
Got to change what you believe. Right? So Wayne Dyer says this, right? Wayne Dyer says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change.
Rest in peace, Wayne Dyer.
Right? Rest in peace to Wayne Dyer.
Yes.
If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. What does that mean? That means that two people could be looking at the same exact thing, but have a different perspective on it.
It's true.
Right? And so one person might be looking at something and saying, man, this is going to ruin my life. This is the worst thing that ever happened to me. Or somebody else might look at the same exact situation and say, yes, I'm going to use this as fuel to push me forward. Right? And so that's where that paradigm comes in at, right? That belief system. Do you believe that all things is working for your greater good? And if you believe that, then you cannot believe in the positive and negative. I don't believe in positive and negative. I used to, right? I used to look at, this is a positive thing or this is a negative thing. I believe that every single thing that is in my experience is working for my greater good. And so I know that. I'm saying, like, take the worst situation you could possibly imagine. As long as I have breath in my body, I know that situation is working for my greater good.
Yes.
And that belief system is what's going to get you every single thing you want in life. It's going to allow you to enjoy life. It's going to allow you to get to a space where nothing really phases you because of that belief system, and know that, you know what? I told the universe, I told God, this is what I want. God is all seeing, right? So God sees everything. So I have a limited vision. So I'm going to have faith.
It's so funny. I didn't mean to cut you.
Preach.
David Goggins says he wants to make God. He wants to impress God. He's like, I want to impress God. He wants God to say, man, I couldn't believe you did. Right. He wants God to be like, man, I can't believe you. I didn't know you had that in you. I didn't know humans could do that.
You know what I mean?
Well, considering God is the creator of the universe.
Right. I know, right? I'm like, wow.
Right. But that's just another just to show you what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
you know
true.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
Just because he goes hard.
He goes hard.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
go hard.
You got to go hard.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, is that as you're going hard, right, as you have the faith, now you are going to grind.
Yeah.
And you're going to go hard.
Yeah.
But you're not going to understand everything that happens during the grind. You're not going to understand it. You're not going to understand.
Can I say something? I'd like to say something. I'm going to say this as profound as I possibly can, okay? There is a thing as divine sovereignty, right? Divine sovereignty goes as this. You will go to God in prayer, right? You'll go to God in prayer, and you'll ask. You'll ask for certain things, right? But being that God has the divine being, he's here forever and ever and ever, and he can see much further than you. When you go to him and you ask and he tells you no, it's something you have to accept.
Absolutely. You have to accept it, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
and so I'll give you a quick example, right? So we're in New York City, and I love giving this example because I think Waze is one of the best GPS system ever, right?
Shows you where the police are,
right? But it also knows, right? It also knows all, because it's based on traffic, it's based on other people. It knows everything. It knows all of the traffic, right? So I remember I was living in New York City. I put in Waze, and I needed to come to Manhattan. I was living in Lower Westchester County, right? And Waze told me to go north when Manhattan is south. I said, what are you talking about? Why would I go north when Manhattan is south? So I said, no. I didn't listen. I got in my car. I went south instead. I disrespected what Waze told me. And what happened? I got stuck on the Deegan parking lot. The Deegan was not moving anywhere, right? So if you know the Deegan parking lot. So it took me 2 hours to get to where I was going. The next time Waze told me to go north, I didn't know where Waze was taking me, but I said, I'm going to go north. So it took me to Yonkers, past to the cross county to Sawmill.
Yeah.
And the Sawmill takes you to the West Side Highway.
Yeah,
easy breezy.
Easy.
And so I say this to say, that's how God works.
Yes.
Right? So sometimes God is taking you in the direction where you're like, I'm not going in that direction.
No.
Why are you telling me to go to this direction? It's the opposite of where I'm supposed to go.
Preach.
But if you don't listen, you're going to be deadlocked. You're not going nowhere.
You know.
But if you do listen and go in that direction, because God sees it all, it's going to direct you to the easiest path to where you want to go.
Yes.
If you don't listen, you might have that hard path, but if you do listen, it'll be the easiest path.
Yo.
You know what? my personal philosophy when it comes to the Lord, right? Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Whoa. That's heavy.
Yes.
That's heavy.
That's heavy.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it has carried me.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying, Ash?
Yeah.
It took me to. I'm here with you now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Obedience is better.
And I think that if people were, and I don't want to get super religious, right? So whatever you call it, God, Buddha, Allah, the universe, your spirit animal, whatever you call it, right?
Yeah.
Your higher power. If you are obedient,
yes,
that's the path.
Yeah, man.
Right? Because what's going to happen is not being obedient. To your point, Jeff, not being obedient.
Yeah.
And thinking, hey, I'm going to sacrifice this thing.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing more by not being obedient.
It actually makes your path.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. It actually makes.
Oh, that's heavy.
It actually makes the process harder.
Absolutely.
You know.
Ask Adam and Eve.
Right. Yeah.
Don't eat from that tree of good and evil.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't be disobedient.
No.
That's how I see it, Ash. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
It's funny about that Waze, right? So one day my wife asked me to bring her to work because she's like, I'm always late for work.
Yep.
So I said to her, why don't you let me download Waze. As soon as you get in the car, just put in the address.
Yep.
I know you know where you're going, but just put in the address for work, and it'll show you the fastest way. Yep. And whatever the ETA is on there, just go with it.
Yep.
She doesn't want to listen. She's like, no, Waze is always trying to make me go different ways, and I don't want to go that way because I know that way is not the way.
For sure.
And she's always late. So one day I said, you know what? I'm going to take off and I'm going to drive you to work using Waze.
Yep.
Even though I was driving her using the Waze and she was like, fine.
Yep.
She still tried to tell me, no.
Right.
Make a left. Don't make a right. Why is it telling you the same thing?
Yep.
Why go north, go south? Mm-hmm. I said, don't talk. Just let us do it. Mm-hmm. She got to work 5 minutes on time, like before her time, you know? And she was shocked. And but it goes to show you, sometimes in life, you don't know how the universe is going to roll. Yeah, sometimes it's you making that phone call for your business. Yep. Sometimes someone tells you, come to this event with me. Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, I'm not going. Yep. But God was whispering, yo, Gene
that person I need
just called you
right.
to ask you. He could have called 1,000 other people, but he called you to go.
Right.
And you didn't go.
Right.
And so the people out here listening, whatever is going through your life right now, sometimes listen to that whisper.
Yeah.
You know?
All the time, obedient. Listen to that whisper.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Because I really believe that the difference between those who are successful and those who are not are those who listen to that intuitive hunch.
It's true.
And the more you listen to the intuitive hunch, the more success you will have. Mm. If you speak to people who have massive success, they'll tell you it is that gut feeling. I call it
the Spidey sense.
The Spidey. You might walk into a place and you don't even know why you're not supposed to be messing with somebody or why you should, whatever.
Get gunshot.
Yeah.
Right?
I call it the Spidey sense. I leave.
You get a gunshot.
Right, exactly. It's that thing that will guide you all the time. Yeah. And I think for me, you know, and I'm not saying this, you know, for the listeners out there, I'm not saying it like it's an easy thing to do, especially if you've been leaning on your own understanding for a long time, right? Because, you know, even for me, for a very long time, I thought I knew it all. I would operate in logic. I would say, no, this is how it's going to work. But it was the one a few times when, honestly, it's when I took a step back and was like, yo, every single thing that I tried to make happen myself did not work. And everything that I just listened to an intuitive hunch and listen, I got what I want effortlessly. Mm-hmm. To the point where even now I get a lot of great opportunities. Those opportunities come because I am intentional about my work and I listen to the intuitive hunch that says, yo, moving to Atlanta. That was an intuitive hunch for me. Yeah. And I'll give you a quick story though, right? Moving to Atlanta is what gave me my biggest speaking engagement to date, right? I moved to Atlanta and Black Enterprise connected with TD Jakes to do an event. Guess where? In Atlanta.
TD Jakes,
right?
Big,
right?
Big.
Another level, right?
Yeah.
And so now Black Enterprise, because I've done work with them before, said, listen, we need to make sure that our first event is the best event. I get a call, yo, Ash, I know you in Atlanta. I need you on that stage.
No problem.
No problem. I'm there. And so when I say that I got to share the same stage with TD Jakes,
amazing.
Dr. Kimbrough.
Dr. Kimbrough was there.
Absolutely. I was with him. Burnt it down.
Yeah. We were about to do his website, man.
Oh, yo.
He's coming on the show.
Nice.
Yo, that man is a different breed of greatness.
Dr. Kimbrough is a beast.
Yo, beast.
Beast.
You know what I'm saying? And so I say that to say.
Didn't he write the intro for one of your?
Yes, he wrote the intro for
Yeah. You know, and so I say that to say, though, that had I not listened to the intuitive hunch that told me and my wife to sell our house, go to Atlanta, I wouldn't have been in Atlanta to get this big opportunity to speak in front of 1,500 people. I met TD Jakes, right? I met Dr. Kimbrough, was able, and I did my thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To the point where that opened the door to other opportunities that I can't necessarily speak of yet, but other opportunities, bigger opportunities. And even that, I upped my price now. I said, I was on stage with TD Jakes. I need 5. I need minimum 5 to talk on your stage. You know what I'm saying? So I up my price now.
Yeah.
And so that intuitive hunch is important.
It is, man. It is. You have to go with the spidey sense.
All right, so listen, man. I'm not gonna let you leave without me asking you this question.
Yes.
All right. Ash Cash.
Yes.
All right. How important is money?
Money is
How important is money?
money is next to breathing.
Yeah.
It's next to air. Don't tell me money is root of all evil. Don't tell me money isn't everything. If you probably just never had money. I'll be honest. Right? If you don't think that money is next to air, then you probably just never had money before. Right? Remember what the Wolf of Wall Street, what the guy said? I've been a poor man and I've been a rich man, and I'll pick rich every time.
Rich every time.
And here's why, right? If you think about every single issue that we have as a community, it somehow stems back to $1. Politically, economically, you think about the police. Do you think that if we ran our own neighborhoods, if our businesses were in our neighborhoods, that the police would police our neighborhoods like they do? They would not.
Never.
Because the police works for the business owners.
Yeah, they do.
Whether you know that or not.
No, they do.
no, they do.
Yo,
Police work for the business owners.
let me tell you, man. Once we opened up the business and we saw that we were established, the police actually came, our precinct, shout out to the 8-1.
Yep.
They came, introduced themselves.
Absolutely.
The politicians come,
Absolutely.
introduce themselves.
Because you are the plug and the outlet.
Yeah.
And so money is next to air because there is so much you can do, right? I mean, obviously, money in the wrong hands and all that stuff. Like, people can do evil things with money, things
Like
of that
everything
nature.
else, like everything
Exactly, like everything else. But if you are, right, and if you're listening to me right now, if you have good intentions, right, and you want to change the world, imagine how much more effective you could be if you had money.
It's true.
If you had money, think about the programs that you could start. Think about the people you can help. Think about all of the life that you could live if you had money.
You can't make no changes from the outside.
You cannot.
No, you can't, man.
You cannot.
You can't.
No.
And so I, I grew up in the projects, right? So growing up in the projects, fast shout to St. Nicholas projects, I learned a lot.
St. Nick.
You know what I mean? But one of the things that I was taught was, money's the rule of all evil and all that stuff. But no, like, I wish that every single person that had good intentions would work hard to make money. I wish that the people with good intentions would care about money more than the people with bad intentions care about money. Because the people with bad intentions do whatever is necessary to get that dollar. And so now when you look and you be like, oh, why is this happening? Why is the wealthy getting wealthy? It's because they understand the importance of the dollar and they will do anything in their power to get that dollar. And so I wish that everybody who has great intentions, who wants to see the world different, would get that dollar.
Go get that dollar, man.
I told you, I woke up this morning. I was hyped. I was glad you was coming in there.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I woke up. I put on my polo and all, but it's,
He wanted to be relaxed for this, man. Because, he's preaching real good.
No. I want you to talk about. Wait, I got so much I wanted to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Corporate cash, corporate money.
Yep.
All right. What is the significance of corporate money?
Man, I mean, a couple of things, right?
Yeah.
Is one, if you don't come from a lineage of having money, there's ways to leverage corporate money to actually to get more money.
Yeah.
Right?
Tell them.
And then so if you think about it from a perspective of, let's think about the U.S. economy, right? When we talk about there is a recession in the U.S. economy, we're not saying that Ash, Jeff, or Gene are making less money.
Yeah.
You know what we're saying?
Yeah.
We're saying that there are 2 consecutive quarters that corporations are not making money.
Yeah.
Right? Or not even not making money, but there's 2 consecutive quarters that they don't have constant growth.
Incline.
Right? So it's not that they didn't make money, it's that they started at this place and so if they started at $1 billion and next quarter they make $1 billion and the next quarter they make $1 billion, that is a recession.
That's a recession for them.
Even though they made a billion.
Yeah.
Because the goal is, if you make $1 billion, they have to make $1 billion one, $1 billion two. So why do I say that, right? I say that because the whole system is based on corporations.
Yeah.
When you think about the stock market is not looking at any stock but the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones, which are the biggest corporations in the country, in the world.
Next to the country.
Right. 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 And so when you think about corporate money, right, they are who the government, the economy is based off of. And so if there are ways, and that's where most Americans are giving their money to. Yeah. And so being able to leverage some of that corporate dollar it's an important play, because that can help you create abundance for yourself personally by leveraging that corporate dollar.
Faith Grind Inspire wants to tell all the corporation that we're looking for partnership. Okay.
Yo, Waze. Listen, Waze. We just bigged you up, Waze. Waze. We need that sponsorship.
I want some equity.
Waze. We need that partnership. Verizon. Come on, man. Get that money in.
Yeah. Compass.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes. Come on, guys.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So Ash, man, people out here like, all right, you guys talking about money, talking about entrepreneurship, mindset. What's my first step? I know it.
Yeah.
He knows it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the first step, which most people who are not in the mindset are going to be like, this is BS, right? Right, because if you tell somebody, they're like, I'm broke right now. I need to, right? How do I get, right?
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
Change your mindset.
Change your mindset.
That's it.
They don't want to hear that, though.
They don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear that.
They don't want to hear that because but the thing is, though, is that it's but here's the trick, though. The trick is, it's the mindset that doesn't want to hear it. It's the mindset that says I'm broke. It's that mindset.
You know what?
That is keeping you where you at.
We're talking about David Goggins and his book, and
we need a co-sign from David Goggins too.
Yeah, man.
We need some sponsorship there too.
We probably sold 1,000 books right now, man.
But you know what? You know what I really realized after I was reading this book, and it kind of like made me feel like because a lot of people don't want to recognize this, but there are some losers in life.
But losing is a mindset, though. No, it's true. It's true. It's true. But losing is a mindset, though.
I'm like, oh my God, no.
But losing is a mindset, though.
No, because when he,
Jeff is tough, man.
Yeah, Jeff is tough, man.
He runs a hard bargain.
He does. He said, "Yo, I realize that there's losers out there."
Nah, man.
So how can we save him or no?
No. Listen, when he was going through Navy SEAL training,
right.
there was like 160 of them, and only like 29 of them got through.
Right.
And there's like 100 helmets of guys who lost through. Right. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, oh my God. And there's nothing you can really do for those people.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to try and see if you can amp them up and you can do this. But when it all comes down to it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I agree. I do think that there are a lot of losers. But let me clear it up, though, right? I think there are a lot of losers in life, but I think that the reason why they're losers, right, is because one, they're probably running a race that's not their race, right?
That's a good one,
right? Because you think about those 160. The people who made it through, they were built for the Navy SEALs. Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm not a loser, but I'm pretty sure if you put me in the Navy SEAls, it's not happening.
Oh, it's not happening.
It's not happening.
I can't go through that.
I can't go through that. Right?
Yeah, listen.
So it takes.
But if I had no choice, I probably would.
Of course.
I pledged when I was pledging Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yes.
Right. There was like 13 of us that started, and only 7 crossed. Right. So. Hey, man, it takes a special person.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And if you don't have that mindset,
for sure.
You're not going across those burning sands.
For sure.
You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
For sure.
And when I think about it, I'm a pretty tough guy.
Yeah.
But then I was like, would I make it as a Navy SEAL? Yeah. Would I go through that? Oh my God. I hate cold water.
Right. Yeah, no. I have a pretty tough mindset.
Yeah.
But when I look at what the Navy salute to the Navy SEALs. That's a different.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And so to my point with that is that I do think that there's losers out there, but you're only going to lose if you're running somebody else's race.
Yeah.
You will never lose.
That's true.
If you run your own race and you follow your intuitive hunch. So I would say, first and foremost, for somebody who's listening, who's like, yo, how do I change? I say first, change your mindset. Make sure that what you're doing is actually what you were put here to do. Right? That you're following that, that calling, that purpose, that thing that, you have the burning desire to do. And a lot of people don't go after the thing that they have a burning desire to do because they're too focused on how they're going to make a living doing it. Opposed to just saying, you know what, I'm going to do it and then figure out how to make money out of it. Like when I knew that I needed to be a financial educator because while I was a banker, I was like, no, you know what I enjoy more? I enjoy going to the inner city schools and talking to people about money. I enjoy more going to Rikers Island, talking to people about money. So I realized, I'm the voice of the underdog. I want to talk to people who think that they don't have what it takes. I want to inspire and motivate them to be the best that they can be economically.
Yes.
And so I didn't know how I was going to get paid doing it. I was volunteering my time. I was working a 9 to 5 and I volunteered my time later on doing it until I was doing it so much, right? I let God, the universe, my intuitive hunch, somebody tapped me, was like, yo, can you come speak at my church? Okay. How much do you charge? Oh, I could charge for this? Right? And that light bulb made me think, they're like, yeah. And so somebody gave me the game. And then that's when I looked up, how do you get paid as a speaker? Oh, you should have a book? Oh, let me write my book.
Seven books later.
Right. Then I'm writing my books. Then I'm like, I can sell books directly? The more books I have, more money I make? 7 books later, 10 grand a speech. I literally $10,000 to speak for half an hour, and I'm not bragging. I just want people to understand that.
But
I would, $10,000 a month or $10,000 in a half an hour.
But I'm gonna pause right there. Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you said that people were just like, people just heard it with the wrong mindset. Like all they heard was womp 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 until $10,000.
Right.
And then now they're like, I want to go write a book.
Right.
I want to be a speaker.
Yeah.
But then they go write a book and they say, I'm a speaker. And they put it on Instagram. and then they're like,
nothing.
And hey, I charge $10,000 to speak. They look at you
no. And so
no.
Right. And I'm glad you said that because.
But they didn't hear the fact that you said, I did it for free.
Exactly.
I did it because I didn't know.
Sure.
I didn't know that I could get paid from it.
Sure.
I was doing it because I love it.
Yeah.
I was doing it because I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I was trying to educate the underdog.
Yeah.
He was doing it for free first.
Yes.
And then now the universe said, okay, you're listening.
Yep.
And so now I'm going to give it to you.
Here's the way.
Because the thing about it too is you would never get to $10,000 per speech if you didn't put in the work.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
Without the work.
Without a doubt.
You have to grind.
Absolutely.
People don't want to work.
Absolutely. That's
People
a fact.
don't want to work.
That's a fact.
They don't want to work.
Yeah.
They don't want to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
What does that make them?
You tell him. Because I'm the good guy.
Just say it. Loser.
Yo, I'm not saying it. I'm the good guy, man. So, but the thing about it is, Jeff,
It
right?
sucks, yo.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
But it's listen, I get calls and everybody wants a handout from me, man. I'm like, yo, no.
Yeah.
No. No.
I don't deal with losers.
No, we don't deal with losers, man.
Yeah.
And Hadia has this book, one of our clients, right? Turn your magic all the way the fuck on.
Yep.
Turn it on.
Yeah.
Ignite it.
Yeah.
Stop watching people.
Yeah.
Stop trying to be
man.
Ash.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Listen.
Run your race.
Run your race.
You will lose.
You will
be a loser if you're running other people's races.
You're trying to run Ash. Yo,
run
you
my
know
race.
somebody came on this show and said something? He said, yo, when you wear, we wear custom suits.
For sure.
When you try, if I say, hey, I'm gonna give you my suit, Ash, you're not gonna fit in this suit.
Right.
Jeff is not gonna fit in this suit.
Right.
Jeff's suit won't fit on me.
Right.
Jeff's suit won't fit on you or anybody else in here.
Absolutely.
The suit is for you.
Absolutely.
build it for you. Build your business for you.
Yep.
Not for anybody else. Don't try to do anybody else's thing.
Yep.
Do it your way.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
When you hear, we bring people on this show, not because we want them to be like, we don't want the you guys out here, or the people listening, we don't want you to be like Ash Cash. We want you to be inspired by Ash Cash
absolutely.
and the
run
other
your
guests
race.
and run your race.
Right.
See that, hey, you know what? I am on the right path. The little voice, even if it's the ear pods that you're listening to the show on, we're the little voice right now.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
But listen to it.
Yeah.
I have a business coach, right? Cesara. And I'm always running. I was always running my race,
Right.
but running.
Yep.
I was always running.
I don't want Gene's job.
Yeah, he tells me that all the time.
No, it's too much
And-
running.
Yeah.
No, it's too much
And
running.
I push myself, right?
Yeah.
And one day, when she was like, Gene, you gotta slow down
Yep.
and you gotta listen.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm doing fine though. I'm not broke. Like, I'm not a loser. Right? So
Right.
I don't have that loser mindset. Like I think I'm good.
Yeah.
But then she said, listen, slow down.
Yeah.
And I did. And I used to like bitch when somebody told me I take Fridays off.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't have enough money to take Fridays off.
Right.
Like how,
Right.
like how you taking Fridays off?
Right.
How you coming? How you not at work?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know, how you not grinding?
Yeah.
Yo. So now I take Fridays
I'm about
off.
to say it's a bad. I'm about to
I
say
take Fridays
I
off.
haven't told you, but
No,
I take Fridays off.
I take Fridays off.
Yeah.
I play golf.
For sure.
I travel.
Yeah.
I spend a day with my son.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest.
Yeah.
The other day, I took a Tuesday off.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I didn't pick up my phone.
Yeah.
I spent the whole day with my mom and sister.
Yeah.
And my son. And it was like the most amazing, freeing thing.
sure,
But
sure.
guess what? I still have my tablet.
For sure.
And I took care of the clients.
For sure.
So the clients never felt anything.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything still moved.
Yeah.
But the world kept going.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want you to grind out there. But run your race. When you run your race, there is no time limit.
Yeah.
There's you see what I'm
And
saying?
there's no competition.
And there's
either.
no competition. Everybody's good.
Yo, I swear, it's so funny
Everybody's
because
good.
there's so many people that are in my space that are shocked when they ask me for something, and I give you the whole blueprint. I don't care. There's only one Ash Cash. There's nobody on this earth that could do what I do.
Nope.
I'll give you the whole blueprint. I'll give you the recipe.
Yeah.
I'll give you who I talk to and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But
true.
but I'm the secret ingredient.
Yeah.
For this journey.
For this journey, for your
For this
journey.
particular
Yeah.
journey, I'm the secret ingredient.
Yeah.
And so there's no way and nobody that can do anything that I can do.
Yeah.
And so I'll give you the blueprint. And I think that that's another thing, though, too, is that, and that comes to mindset and belief system, right? A lot of people operate in a lack mentality. They believe that there's just enough for them. And so because they have this lack mentality, they're not willing to share.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that sharing and giving is the fastest way to abundance.
Give to give.
You know what?
Give to give.
You know what? I take pride in giving offerings and tithes.
Absolutely.
That is like my thing. If I was not able to do that, I would feel less than the person. You see what I'm saying? And I think because of that attitude and that approach towards life, everything always pays out.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. Yeah.
You see
It
what
will
I'm saying?
always, yeah.
It always pays out.
Because just is give. Just give to
Yeah,
give. The
yeah.
rich people, we talked about this. If you walk into a room with wealthy men, right, or women, they're bragging about how much they donated.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yo, man, I just gave to this charity $2 million.
Right.
They're like, what?
Yeah,
Yo, son,
right.
me?
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It feels good.
Absolutely.
It feels good.
Absolutely.
When you're like, let me see how much I could take from others.
Right.
You don't get anything.
That's not a good look.
It's not a good look.
And the funny thing about it is
And
that when
everybody
you
in-
take, you have to close your hand. Right, and so where do you have room to receive? If your hand is always
I like
closed,
that one.
You got that visual.
right? When you
Bree?
take, you got to close that hand.
I like that.
When you give in, the hand's open.
Yeah.
Right, and so now the hand is open to receive more.
Yep.
Slap
it's true.
back.
Slap back.
Yeah, I like that.
Yo,
one. I
man.
like that, man.
So-
I like that.
Let's talk about balance now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we had this conversation, and how do people balance, because now you're traveling, but you have 2 kids, a wife.
Yep.
How do you balance that? You mentioned, hinted, you take Fridays off.
Yeah, for sure. So so I think, I mean, so for me, I got to a place where I grind so hard, and I'm not even gonna lie and act like I had the balance at that point. I didn't.
Yeah.
Right. I had the point. I was at the point where I grind so hard that it put me in a position so that I can make the balanced decisions now. Right. And so now the important things come first. So not only do I take Fridays off, I go to all of my kids' trips. Right. I play in the staff versus kids basketball game at my daughter's school, right? I'm at every dance recital, and so the reason I'm able to do that is because I grind, right? I worked hard for money. I didn't come up with money, so I had to work hard for money. But then I changed my relationship with money, and now money works hard for me.
Exactly.
Right now, I've written 7 books where I get residual income. I do think I have subscription-based products that pay me monthly. So now, if I do a speech and I'm out for a weekend, I can charge a big amount of money, and that allows me to chill and relax. Plus, if you add that to my residual stuff that I get in, I'm able to make that decision. So I would say that, if somebody's at a place where they don't have balance right now, because here's the thing that I was taught. Somebody once told me that if you have an opportunity of a lifetime, you have to take advantage of it during the lifetime of that opportunity. Right? Which means that there will never be another Jay-Z. There will never be another Puff Daddy. There will never be another Tyler Perry. Why? Because they all had the opportunity of a lifetime, but they took advantage of it during the lifetime of that opportunity.
It's true.
Right? And so a lot of us who are like, we're currently on our grind, and, we're at the cusp of whatever we're doing. And we have an opportunity of a lifetime. Like, I have an opportunity of a lifetime in my space. And so I have to seize that moment.
It's true.
Right? I have to seize that moment. I have to seize it during the lifetime of that opportunity.
Don't get comfortable.
But once you solidify your spot, then it gives you that space where you can now start thinking about balance. So I say this, and this is just me. I'm not saying this for everybody, but whatever you're doing, if you have an opportunity to break a mold and to conquer something, then I don't necessarily think that you should be focusing on balance. I think you need to do whatever it takes to secure the bag.
I agree.
But once you get to a place, right? But I'm not saying, oh, you know what? I grind so hard and now I'm tired, but I need a break, so I'm gonna go to the club to unwind while I got a family at home. Right? That's whack stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Right? But if your focus is on the grind and you're focusing and you're getting to that space and you're getting to the bag, you're going to get to a space where you change your relationship with money. Where you instead of working hard for money, money's going to work hard for you. And as money's working hard for you, it gives you that balance to be able to say that, you know what, I'm taking Fridays off. And so I think that balance, comes along with putting in the grind, right? First, having the faith to believe in yourself enough to go as hard as you need to go. Then take the grind like you never grind before so you could change your relationship with money. And this is specific to those who don't start with money. If you have money already, then this doesn't apply to you.
Yeah.
But if you don't start with money, then you need to grind as hard as you can. And once you grind, you can inspire people with your results.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I believe the same, man.
Yeah.
It's facts. Right, Jeff?
Listen,
oh man,
we spoke a few weeks ago about not managing time, but managing your task, right? But for me, I always like to go the deep-seated route. I like to take things to the most inner self, right? And when I really take a look at what I want to do and how things are supposed to be done, I realized that actually managing my energy is a lot more sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Managing my energy makes me really get things done.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I mean, energy is everything.
Yeah, energy is everything. Yeah.
And to the point, and so you know,
Go.
No, I'm glad you said that, right?
Yeah,
because I want
I got those.
Feel it.
I want people to hear this and feel this, right?
Yeah.
Is that every single day, you have to be your absolute best.
Yeah.
But your best is gonna look different on different days, and so don't guilt yourself if those days that you don't have the energy, the right energy to pursue something. Don't guilt yourself if you decide to say, you know what, I'm watching El Chapo this all day today, right? That's what I'm watching currently. Right. And honestly, like it's times I wake up and I'm like, man, you know what, my mind isn't where it needs to be, and so I'm not gonna force it. Sometimes you might have to take that step back.
Yeah.
Because energy is everything.
It's true.
Because
man.
if you try to produce with the wrong energy, you're going to get the wrong result.
You
do, man.
You see,
and sometimes you have to.
That was about as profound as I can get.
Yeah. Yo, Jeff, Ash, man. You know, it's funny, man. And sometimes you have to create that energy because you have to ignite it.
For sure.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, that's why Jeff keeps telling me, I don't want your job.
Yeah.
Right? The energy at my office for me wasn't right. You've been to my office, and it wasn't the people, it wasn't anything. It was just like when I walk in, it just felt plain, right? And I built the wall, I did this, I did all these nice things to it, and I was like, what is wrong with this place, right? I need to bring it back. I need to spark it.
Yeah.
So I put it upon myself instead of hiring. I could have hired a contractor.
Sure.
We have plenty of them.
Yep.
But what happened was I put it upon myself to change the office. I did the whole floors.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So I emptied out the whole entire office, right? Which is a lot of stuff.
Yep, for sure.
And then I did the floors by myself.
Wow.
And then put things back into the office, right? Stefan was there as a witness, right?
Yep.
And he came in, you know, and he was like, Dr. Gene, I didn't expect you to be doing this.
Right.
And I was like, yo, sometimes you have to ignite it.
For sure.
Because my mom came to the office to see it.
Yep.
And when she came in yesterday, she was like, oh my God, you did this. This is so nice. Blah, blah, blah. And she was so proud. But, you know, it ignited my energy.
For sure. Absolutely.
In the office.
Absolutely.
And when people come in, it just like, it looks like it's been there.
Yeah.
It looks like, but for me, it feels good because I feel good about. I have to be in that space. I spend more time in my office than I do at home.
For sure.
So I'm like, I have to feel that energy. So if I need to redo the floors tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow.
Happen. Right, because that energy is the currency that's
gonna. It's the currency.
Yeah.
And I can't manage tasks. That's why I love what you're saying. That's what made me bring this up.
I'm full of them.
Yeah, you are full of them, right? So the energy, right? The energy that I feel now makes me want to complete tasks.
Yeah.
Because before, I kept looking at the floor. Because now it was in my mind that the floor sucks and I don't like the floor. Right. So anytime I'm trying to do work, I'm like, yo, let me just I got to go.
Right.
And I end up coming to the studio or whatever.
Yeah.
But now I feel good about working at the office, you know?
No, absolutely.
Jeff is like, I don't want your job.
No, I don't.
That energy is good.
But anyway, man, so any last thoughts, any things that going through your mind that, you know, because like I said, man, you're the people's people, man, and I just want to help those out there, man, and anything that you that was on your heart, that's on your mind, that you just like, I have to talk about this.
Nah, for sure. I would say, and you know, sort of like a recap of what we already said, but I would say first, get your mind right. Right, and once you get your mind right, get your grind right. And I think that it's important that people understand that mindset is about belief system. Believe in what you want to do. Believe that you could accomplish it. Do everything that it takes for you to make that a reality, though. Right, and so if you believe, or if your belief system is telling you to go a certain direction and you may not have the skills right now, then get a class to get the skills. You know, connect with somebody who's done it already. Learn from them. You know, put in the work. And once you get to that space where you're putting in the work, and it has to be inspired action, right? Like just don't do busy work. Don't work for the sake of work.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? Like if what you're doing doesn't get you to ultimately what your goal is, then stop doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Stop doing it. Only do inspired work that's going to get you to the next level. And as you do that, you're going to start to see a shift in your life. You know, for me, being able, like sometimes I look at my life and I'm like, man, I can't believe that this is my life. Right? But then when I think about all the things that it took for me to get here, you better believe this is my life, right? Because at the end of the day, I call it the paycheck syndrome, right? Where, a lot of times we work 40 hours for a job, we get a paycheck. Once we get the paycheck, we don't look at the paycheck and be like, man, I can't believe I got this paycheck. We don't look at our direct deposit and say, man, I can't believe, my job paid me. No, I work 40 hours. So they better pay. Matter of fact, if they don't pay me, we're gonna have some issues.
With HR.
With HR, right? And so I think that the mindset that we need to have now as entrepreneurs is the same way we have when we had a 9-to-5. When you start to put in the work and you start to reap the benefits and you start to see your life change, you better believe that it's going to change. Because you put in the work.
I just want to say something that, okay, so when it comes to believing, right? When it comes to believing, I think that we take it for granted sometimes that, our belief system and things that we want to do, and we look at life in a fashion that makes us say, I believe, right? But what you're talking about right now, it's actually knowing. You see,
absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah.
There's a thing. One of the things I really like about medical school, because I'm in medical school, New York Medical College right now, is that evidence-based.
Yes.
It's solid sense.
Yeah.
It makes you really consider what's put in front of you.
For sure.
So that is an evidence-based thing. It's supported. There's nothing that you can say that can really contradict it because it's a living proof.
For sure.
Living proof.
Yeah.
So it goes beyond your belief and takes you into the actual knowing of the thing, knowing of the substance. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where I think that we are really going to really head it toward. It's not just believing alone, but we're going to know.
We have to know.
We have to know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And to your point, like, it's not belief if you don't take inspired action, right? Like if you're just, and we said this earlier, right? Where people are like, yo, I'm real.
Yeah.
Yo, I believe.
Yeah.
Yo, like if that's all you doing is saying,
I will smack you.
right? Jeff will smack you.
Jeff will smack you.
You know what I'm saying? And so to his point, the knowing comes from believing, then taking inspired action.
And then you get the evidence.
And then you get the evidence.
And then you're like, I know.
Exactly.
I know.
I know like I know like I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I had this conversation, and I want to know your thoughts about this, guys. So I was talking to an entrepreneur, and she said, shout out to Naya. I'm putting you on blast.
Shout out to Naya.
So Naya said, entrepreneurs have a job. Like, no, their business is a job for them. And I said, no, it's not. It's a business.
Yeah.
Right? A job is a person who, matter of fact, Clocking.
Yeah.
An entrepreneur doesn't have a job. An entrepreneur works.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree?
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Or
listen to me, man.
I agree. I think a job. You have a boss. If you have a job.
I am the punch clock.
Right.
I am the punch clock.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
When you come to work, you're gonna punch in with me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is my job.
Yeah.
I'm nonstop with that.
Yeah.
You can't get around that.
Right.
So don't even try it, because if you do, you're going to be heading for a crisis.
Right, for sure. For sure. No, I agree. I think that when you look at the sense of a job means that this is your task.
Yeah.
Somebody's telling you this is your task, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
And as an entrepreneur, I don't have a task, I do everything.
Yes.
Right? So yes, I work, as an entrepreneur, but I don't have a job because I have every job.
Yes.
And so if I have every job, I don't have a job, I have the job, and the job is to work and get stuff done.
Thank you.
I mean,
but you know what? I mean, she agreed after, but I had to go to the dictionary. I had to go to Google.
Just over broke is what job
and I was just like, because she just kept saying, no, you have a job, and that was frustrating me.
Right.
You know, and I was just like, no. And so I said, I work. I don't have a job. You know, I was like, so another thing I wanted to ask you guys, and you know, before we wrap up, right? How do you feel if someone, because Gary Vee said something to this young guy, and he said, start at the bottom, work for free, work your way up, right?
That's easy for Gary Vee to say, though.
Yeah. Exactly.
He started, and I love Gary Vee, right? So I'm not like, it's not no shots, but like you ran a $4 million business.
Yeah.
Like that was your start.
Yeah, that was your start. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Work up from there.
That's your father owned.
That's your father owned. And I'm sorry because you didn't even ask the question, but I feel like, and this is for anybody, right? Gary Vee is going to connect with a certain demographic of people. And what I don't want is the wrong people to listen to that message and take that as gold. So I say that whoever you are, make sure you check the source of who's saying what, right? So if you're going to listen to Gene, know Gene's story. If you're going to listen to Ash, know Ash's story. If you're going to listen to Jeff, know Jeff's story. If you're going to listen to Gary Vee, know their story, right? Because people's opinions, nothing is a fact. What I'm saying is not a fact. What I'm saying is based on my experience and what I know for sure based on my experience. And so if you're going to listen to me, then make sure that I connect with you in some way, that our stories are parallel, that you can relate in some way. Because Gary Vee says a lot of things that are not applicable to the people that come from my community. We can't work for free. And we talk about mindset. I know that if you got bills to pay, if you're trying to figure stuff out, you can't even be your best entrepreneur self.
Hungry.
You can't do that.
No, you can't do it.
You can't do that. So I tell somebody, if you have a dream and you have no money, get a job working for your dream. If you want to be a musician, get a job as an engineer. If you want to work in radio, be a board op.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, be around your dream
be around
and make money doing it. Don't we talk about do it for free.
Exactly.
Nah.
Yeah, so that was the thing.
Nah, I'm not with that.
I said you have to. I basically said the same thing. Right, and that was where the conversation ended. You know, but I'm going. Well, you cleared it up, so that was the question and the answer. So anyway, yo, Ash, man,
it's always good. Always good times. Always good times.
Always,
good
brother.
times.
Always.
Yes,
so
Yes, sir.
Tell the people where they can find you.
Man, so listen, I'm going to make it very, very easy for everybody. Go to my website, IamAshCash.com. Everything is there. Follow me on all social media platforms. I am Ash Cash. I am very responsive, so connect with me if you want to hit me up. Ask me any questions. Just give me time to get back to you, but hit me up. But I am Ash Cash, and I'm Googleable. Google me, Ash Cash. However you want to do it. Google me. Hit me up.
All over the news.
It's been a blessing, though. It's been a blessing. So I appreciate. I wouldn't be where I am without the people. I work my job. I work for the people. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it's a blessing to be a servant. And I appreciate you, brother, for all you do.
We still gotta work on that project, though.
Not for sure. Oh man, it's so necessary.
I was watching the video yesterday.
So necessary.
We gotta put this out.
We gotta do it.
That's the business tip of the day. Work for the people.
Work for the people.
Absolutely.
That's the business tip of the day. Take that one and really mold it over.
Last question.
Yes.
Well, I think I know the answer, but out of the three, faith, grind, inspire, which one resonates with you?
I mean, at this point,
and you know what? Because I want you to answer that. But also, what do you think your superpower is?
All right. So at this stage of my life, what resonates with me the most is inspire. Because of where I've come from, I've you know what I mean? Like, I've lived 5 lives, honestly, right? I've done so much in the short amount of time I've been on this earth that inspire is what I aim to do every single day now. You know, now when people look at me and people hear my story, people see me, they see the end result. They might think that I might have come from money. I might have come from Parsippany, New Jersey. Nope. I'm from the projects. I'm from 129th Street, 8th Avenue. And so inspire is what is best, because I believe that everybody can live through being a demonstration. Forget your words. Forget what you want to do. None of that, right? Allow people to be inspired by you demonstrating. Be a demonstration for the greatness that exists within everybody, but show people, right? Shine your light the brightest that you can shine it. And what Marianne Williamson said, once you do that, you give others permission to shine their light. So at this stage of my life, inspire. My superpower is the ability to motivate, right? That's why they call me the financial motivator, because I have the best of both worlds. There's not a person on this earth that could talk to me about, like, I don't even recognize excuses. There's not a person on this earth that could be like, well, you never been through, you never seen. Yo, if I told you the whole story, I've been through hell and back, and I'm still here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, you know, my ability to be able to inspire and motivate people is what my superpower is, because I got receipts though too.
Yeah.
I got receipts and I'm transparent. So there's a lot of people out there, and there's no shot to them, but there's a lot of gurus and people out here who are like telling you how to do it, and they ain't never done nothing. You know what I mean? They give you direction, and they're self-proclaimed. I don't proclaim to be nothing. I am Ash Cash. That's why my website is IamAshCash.com. Period. Because that's who I am.
Yeah.
You get to read the story yourself. When people call me whatever, that's what y'all call me. I am Ash Cash. Period.
I love it. I love
Definitely.
it. I love it.
Definitely. Man, I just want to say thank you, man.
Ash, man.
Seriously,
My pleasure.
man.
My pleasure.
Thank you, man.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you,
My
man.
pleasure.
I want you to, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
stay motivating.
Thank you.
That's going to be the key.
I want to say my condolences again, too.
Thank you.
He recently lost his mom.
Yep.
So I want to say my condolences.
Yeah.
And when he said, you know, you don't know the whole story, you don't know no excuses. Like, this man, after he moved his family to Atlanta,
Yep.
like right after,
Yeah.
he had to come
Right back.
While he's unpacking, he had to come right back.
And if anybody knows, like my mother, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, man.
But
yeah.
he understands his mission, and he understands, like, that's so everything that you said today.
Yeah.
Resonates, and I know
for sure.
that you know what I'm saying,
right?
So
and that's the thing. Like, a lot of times people don't know the whole story. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
because you know people say, oh, he didn't go through this. I lost my mom, or I lost my dad, and you know my world. You gotta keep grinding for the legacy of your mom and dad.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely,
because that's why they sacrificed for.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
So
I appreciate
my
you.
condolences.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you again.
Yes, sir.
And
My condolences.
Thank you, brother.
And so, on that note,
let's do it.
So, Faith Grind Inspire. I want to thank Ash. I want to thank our producers, Tim, Brianna,
Timmy.
Jamie, right? And Jamie Roberts, right? And I want to thank all the listeners. Thank you to all of you guys, OG Podcast Network, Cumulus, everyone,
OG,
for all the support.
Madison Square Garden,
live in Madison Square Garden, and so. Catch us every Wednesday. Be consistent, people. Tune in every Wednesday and share with your friends. And always remember, keep grinding. Keep grinding no matter what.
Yeah, let's get some of that corporate sponsorship.
And follow us on Instagram at Faith Grind Inspire.
Where's the ways? Verizon, get at us.
Yes. And email Jeff.
Yeah, Jeffrey
at faithgrindinspire.com.
That's right.